Okay. Remind me to cut that part out. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Did you notice if the tire was soft? If did you notice if he had ano yung tire pressure? No, 35 yung kinarga natin, but how much was 30? So bumaba. So bumaba ha. Shouldn't really be going down. Not that much at least.
Sa kapila ka pa mag-ano, di ba?
Yeah. Ha?
Sa kabila ka pa mag...
Yeah. This next one or the last one?
The last one.
Festival last.
Left na yun.
The green light or the red light?
Dito pa sa red.
The orange. This one, the 70,
Yeah.
69, 67.
That's right.
Hey, look at that dog over there. You see? You see the dog? See the dog?
Yeah, yeah. I know that.
With his
Dog?
head sticking out the window.
Yeah. Ikaw, sir, ganun din. Pag nag-drive ako.
On your arm?
Yeah. One lang naman yung hinahawakan ko kasi matik naman yung kotse.
Right.
Gusto na nakakakilan. Nakakaano ng hangin sa labas ng car. Hindi yun nag-iing sa loob ng car.
Good dog.
Yeah. Saan ko na kaya nadala yan? Tagaytay.
The dog?
Yeah. Gusto na sa kaso lang sabi sa walang tali. Sinabi ko dyan, ka lang. Yan naalis.
Where did he come from? See what I mean about you're signaling to the left, and instead of them slowing down because you're going to signal to the left, they speed up. It's a good thing I didn't make a hard left. Another crazy motorcycle there a while ago, huh?
Dito kayo? Going straight pa.
It's alright, I think all of them will go.
Alam mo na?
We'll see when we get there. Can't get too lost naman here. Basta we don't end up in Alabang Market.
Turn left ka dyan.
Yeah, ito pala, I wish we could have gone all the way to the end.
May ano na agad, hindi nagbabantay na.
Where?
Gabang nahuli.
Where?
Yeah, nasa gilid.
Here?
Yeah.
Anong klaseng huli yon? Over
Yeah, over
beat red light like that?
Gabang na.
Huh?
Mahigpit dito sa Alabang, meron nga dito. Ano? Like,
Ooh.
hindi nang babaril. Tapos malalaman mo na lang na ano ka na, may ano ka na. Dito sa Alabang yun.
The no No contact.
No ano, pero binarik na lang.
No contact. Apprehension.
Nagulat ako nun sa, ano, pinarenew ko yung lisensya ni August before.
Uh-huh.
Sabi ko, wala kami ticket, wala kaming ano. Hindi na rin pala sa Alaba.
For what?
For ano, tumakbo si August ng naka-red.
Huh? Is it true? Did he beat the red light?
Red light.
Is it true?
Ha?
Is it true?
Yeah.
He beat the red light?
Yeah. Yun yung violation mo.
Right. But it's true, he remembers doing it, huh?
Yeah.
No contact, apprehension, COVID safe.
Alam mo na?
Yeah.
Okay. No way.
No need, no
Pero
need.
nag-raise ako, nasa bulsa lang.
Okay.
Going straight lang.
Yeah. We are cruising, not in a hurry. Safety first, a little earlier than last time, but not as early as I was planning or hoping to be, but it's good enough. It is, I think, 6:48 in the morning to be exact, on my according to my watch. Kind of hoping to be there by 6, 7 or 7 or any time before 8 really, but you know, preparations and everything in the morning. Excuse us. Hopefully I don't run into any road rage today, or I don't cause any road rage. Got a whole grocery list of notes that I wanted to talk about down there. I don't know if you noticed it. I wanted to talk about mortality, heroes, cell phones, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Hopefully I can remember what I wrote down. I mean, I can see what I wrote down, but I hope I remember what those keywords are all about. It reminds me of those times that I was on the just taking notes. Sometimes you know, there's a balance between taking the notes and and taking too much notes that the information is not actually going in or out of your head because you are concentrating too much on the notes, which is kind of the dilemma between journaling, I guess, and maybe real life, if the way we put it. The other day was it yesterday, I was watching, I chanced upon a Cody Warner video that had a friend of his talk about Gary Vaynerchuk, and Gary Vaynerchuk was mentioning, and I'm sure I've heard of him mention this before, but it was only really yesterday that it kind of clicked and made sense and resonated with me. The balancing between creating, or rather documenting, and actually building. Of course, first things first is you want to build, you know, build the business, build whatever it is that you want to do in terms of being an entrepreneur, I guess. But you know, Gary Vaynerchuk being the social media guru / advocator that he is, he suggests that you document your process of building, but you don't want to get too caught up in the documenting that you're not actually building anything anymore. And you know, I was thinking about that, and I guess in a way I'm also just lucky that whatever it is that I am building happens to be the documenting. I mean, it's kind of mixed mash with a gray area, in a sense that I want to build the body of work, you know, to get my perspectives out there, I guess is the way we'd put it. Sure. For me, I think what it is that I'm balancing is like if I want it to be more commercial, or if I want it to be personal. And maybe the answer is both, but how much personal? Like, do I give 100% details? The only reasons I would push back on that with all the details is, you know, I don't want to put anybody in jeopardy, or to sort of piss anybody off if it's even if it's no matter how true it is, you know, somebody can still get upset, and for me it's sort of not worth the argument or the effort. Which brings me to one of the topics that I also wanted to talk about today. I came across a bunch of these videos about the Nas Daily controversy a few months ago, and I remember running across this, and I don't remember if I even posted or reposted this story, but it really sort of affected me or resonated with me in such a way that, you know, this is exactly, I think I did post it. I don't remember if it's public or if it's private or if I deleted it, but I said something like, this is what I'm afraid of. This is the kind of creator that I don't want to be like. And I posted that without knowing anything and everything about the situation. Really, I was just reacting based on you know, sort of gut instinct or anything, or something like that. It's not that I regret talking about it. I just got the chance to look into it a little bit more yesterday, which I hang on a second. Okay, so what's that? The issue was that supposedly Nas, you know, went to the Philippines and wanted to take a video of one of the oldest tattoo artists in the world, I think, not just in the Philippines but in the world, and how, you know, he supposedly or allegedly went there and took advantage of the fact that she didn't really know what she was getting herself into, which was, at the end of the day, it turns out it was making a how-to video, like a Skillshare or a masterclass video on the secrets of her ways. And the thing that I wanted to react to about Nas and what happened was, for me, I mean, if I make a video, and no matter if I have a contract or anything like that with someone, any kind of video, and then if my subject changes his or her mind and says, hey, you know, I changed my mind, I don't want to have that out there anymore. For me, it's my obligation as a filmmaker, even if we have a contract, for me to just honor that request, no questions asked, without saying yeah, but we had a contract. I'm not talking in terms of client work, I'm talking in terms of, I guess, intellectual property rights, and whether it's even just being embarrassed about your face, and they change their mind, I would take it out and not put it back on anymore. You know, I don't want to be the kind of thing where, you know, I take it off and then they change their mind again and they ask me to put it back on again. That's another story. But you know, like what I'm actually getting at is like when Casey Neistat, I think, mentioned in one of his vlogs that if anybody tells him not to skateboard in the airport or not to fly his drone, no questions asked, just take it down. It's not really worth the effort to you know, to argue about it. But the thing with Nas was, I guess the contract was that, and I don't know how true this is, but the way I understand it is that it was for a class, that and it wasn't free. Like you had to pay like 750 pesos to, you had to pay 750 pesos to take the class. But even more so, out of respect for the tribe, out of respect to the lady, out of respect for the art, even if you had an agreement, like for me, it's really not worth it. And those are my ethics as an artist slash as a filmmaker. It's like you are benefiting, your content is benefiting from, he asked us to go, but these other guys are going also at the same time, right? .360 awareness you gotta have here in that corner. One of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous intersections that I'm aware of. Just like I remember getting up on that overpass, that pedestrian overpass there sometime, and counting that there's like 6 lanes converging with each other here at the Sukat and or Bikutan interchange at the east and west service roads. But I think it's more so here at the west service road. It's more congested. If I'm not mistaken, I think we're on the west service road right now. So that's just my thing with Nas. And I mean, yeah, sure, I have my little opinions about his character, and it's not based on fact, it's just based on, you know, opinion. Like when I listen to his podcast or I listen to his videos, it's not really something that I can stand. It's not really just my thing. I mean, it's just too commercial, too much. It's just too much for me. It's not my kind of thing. And that's his prerogative. That's his style. You know, he can do whatever he wants to do in terms of his films. And I guess as a content creator, it's in terms of whatever it is that he puts out into the world, it's really up to him. But let's see if I could let this big car pass. This doesn't want to pass me, so I am just going to overtake this bike first. I guess he couldn't squeeze through the trucks there. I hope you can still hear me because the wind is really getting into my chin right now. But I think the mic is properly insulated, if that's the right word. It's covered up so that you don't get too much wind noise. Wow, it is we are free. The road is pretty much free this morning compared to when it's like 8, 9, 10 o'clock, especially for motorcycles. Turn on the headlights there and the LED lights in front. Let other motorcyclists know that we are also in the other direction. Those guys are overtaking. I can see a gray car on my left shoulder. He's not trying to go past me, but he does have the opportunity to do so if he wants to, and I'm signaling to the right now if he wants to. Go right ahead, but there are motorcycles There he's going to pass me now, I think. He's brave enough. There he is. Good timing. Yeah, a lot of skill in driving, in my opinion at least, is, you know, timing. When you're actually going to cross the street, when you're actually going to go in and out, when you're actually going to execute the maneuver, and finesse, and slow is smooth, smooth is fast, that kind of thing. Communication. With all this gear with the motorcycle right now, it reminds me a lot about scuba diving, which is one of the things that I wanted to talk about with the channel. I mean, when I say channel, it's not really that I'm trying to grow the channel per se in such a way that I'm trying to get more followers, fans, subscribers, and that kind of thing. That's totally not it. It's really about me getting the stuff out there, and it really feels like I'm sort of giving birth, or at least trying to, what's the right word for it, coming of age, grow up, put something out into the world that's meaningful and useful, you know, legacy, that kind of thing. And you know, I've been thinking a lot about it, and it really comes down to, you know, I'm not an expert in anything specific, but I can document myself. I can talk about myself, not because I'm an expert at it, but because I can just share and relate my experience, and maybe that's the contribution that I have for the world, or, you know, for anybody that wants to consume my stuff as an artist, not as an expert. So if you do decide to follow me, it's not because you're following my life rules and lessons and you're learning anything specific from my stuff. It's really, my audience then would be maybe people that might be curious to see sort of an artist grow in terms of being able to communicate properly and clearly, which I think is really my challenge, is really being able to, is really being able to communicate ideas more clearly. It's really more like a writing slash communications exercise. Yeah, we are impressed at how, yeah, Ken and I are just impressed at how smooth sailing the roads are this morning, because we are so darn early. Good thing that we were able to leave early. I'm just really not used to getting up and out of bed that early, but you know, we're trying to learn. You know, part of it was not procrastination, but just really being practical. It's like, why wake up so early if you don't have to? But now we have a reason to, so no need to try to beat this guy. Still a lot of road. Just let people pass. Not because you're being a pushover, but just you want to be smart and just get there in one piece. There's really no reason to prove myself that I'm a faster, better, stronger driver or anything like that. But then, you know, sometimes our ego and penis gets in the way sometimes, and sort of distracts and beats the whole purpose. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing the shoulder bag again today because I kind of didn't like how the, oh, it was rough on that turn. I don't like how the, as much as I like the feeling of the waist bag being on my waist, I didn't like the feeling of the waist bag being too tight. It's too small for the phone. The phone is not is long with the wire extension over the microphone, so I didn't want to risk bending the microphone wire. Anyhow, go for it, lady motorcycle driver. Because that's the thing, if I still sped up and try to beat her to that turn, you know, it's not going to end. All the other guys behind me are also going to most likely continue beating, and then, you know, it's going to cause, she's going to end up causing traffic and whatever. I just, you know, I was already pressing the brakes. There's no reason for me to try to beat her to it. It's not a game. The game is to be smooth as silk. That's how you win. So where was I? I was talking about Nas Daily, right? And yeah, his brand, I suppose, is really just not my thing, and I just wanted to comment on maybe the issue about, you know, taking content down, even if you had a contract. You know, anybody can change their mind, or even if there was just a misunderstanding and they're not honoring the contract or anything like that, let's just put it down to the tribe or her family decided to change their minds. Whether it was a misunderstanding or not, let's just put it at that. I mean, if I was Nas, I would have just said, oh, okay, you don't want me to put that up anymore. Huh? What's that? That's alright. I think Din is worried about the front suspension. Shouldn't be. I think these are stronger than. Although, yeah, the less we have to beat it up, the better. But it's either that or brake hard. Ooh, he decided to turn maybe at the last minute. I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, we are through with the most, no, we're getting through the some of the most congested parts of this route. Come on, truck, let's go, truck. Oh, hey, there's a dog there with the po-po. Okay, turning left, signaling left. Truck is on my left. Hopefully he's going to turn left too. Hopefully he can see me. I want to be the one to cut him off. A jeepney slowing down. Not exactly, not unstressful, but smooth enough for now. So yeah, is there anything else that I wanted to mention about that? Yeah, it's really just that. I mean, I just want to be sensitive, and I guess the word is also empathetic to anyone that I use for the stuff that I put out. You know, there's you know, being brave, but there's also being callous and opportunistic, I think is the right word. I think I need to pee. I think I need to pee, given the chance now. I peed already a while ago, right? I think I want to pee again. I keep peeing. No, that's not a sign of a bad thing. Oh, I forgot to attach the key. And let's double check if we're recording. Hang on. Ha? Dito? Dito? Oh, there's another one here. Staff only. Okay. Looks like we're still good. I worry about this thing because the last time when we were stopped by the PNP, it said PNP checkpoint, but it's actually military that remind me to censor that, or at least cut this part out. PNP checkpoint, but it was the military that was handling the checkpoint. I drank a lot of water, coffee and water on the way today, and my visor is, yeah. You okay? No. There's already traffic. It's already congested in this part. Yeah, so my thing with the NOS thing, again, it's I think what I wanted to say was that, you know, you're never really above, your art is never really above, or whatever it is it art? You're never really above your subject. You are sort of, I think I would say, a servant. You have an obligation to be honest. It's like being a journalist. I think, yes, you are being honest, but not for the sake of views, or not for the sake of money, nothing's, yeah, you know, you're working together, and you owe it to you wouldn't have that content if that person, even if you spent like what, 2 days, you wasted a lot of money. Maybe that's why they're trying to force it in. It's like they spent a lot of money. 2 days getting to the Philippines, which is probably why they are forcing the fact that they should, what's is probably why they think they have the right, or the what's the right word for it, that they're above the, not above the law, but, you know, maybe because they spent so much money for so much investment and getting there for a couple of days. And oh well, too bad they decided to change their mind. You know, it's like the guy here, when the other day, and the guy, you know, I flipped the finger to the guy, and it's like, well, oh well, too bad. You know, some jerk flipped your finger, gave you the finger. Boo-hoo, too bad. Is it really something to cry or make such a big deal about? I mean, you know, that's the way it is. People get pissed off on the road. People are jerks. Do you really have to like cut him off? You know, put all that effort? It's like, for me, it's like, just throw it away, move on, drop it. There's more time. So, you know, I think the more that he fought the issue, or the more that he responded to it, maybe he should have just apologized, I think, and moved on. And, you know, he spent what they ended up doing was they ended up making more posts about it, defending himself, thinking that you know, he would prove her wrong, or that he would prove the tribe wrong. But maybe that's how it works in the West. But you know, here in Asia, or at least in the Philippines, that's not that kind of thing is not gonna fly. You know, out of respect again, and out of you know, we could squeeze in there, but I don't think it's worth it. Which again goes back to road rage last week. Is it worth taking the risk? It's being practical, I would say. Just being smart. You know, some people like to not wear socks on their shoes. Is that Philippine Airlines? Philippine Airlines up there. So there, that's just why I feel a little strongly about it, I guess. Wait, are we going too slow? Do we need to squeeze through? Is it worth it? I don't think it's worth it. We're like 300 meters away, maybe. You want me to go? Wait. Oopsie. Go for it, buddy. Jeepney. Slowing down jeepney, causing all the traffic is really the jeepneys here. Not because there's more cars, or not because of an intersection, but because the jeepneys are taking their sweet time picking up passengers in that corner. But, you know, so much better than last time. Oh, I broke out a sweat on that one. Okay, welcome to C5. We are cruising at 41.23 kilometers per hour with the shoulder bag on my crotch. Not really the most comfortable crotch experience, but it's good for the microphone and cell phone. Look at that guy fly. So just giving it a crotch check. Just making sure that the wires are not in the way. So yeah, so that sort of addresses, I guess, the other thing that I wanted to mention about this channel. And I mentioned this not necessarily for you, to know about it, but it's really more for me to say it out loud and to check and see if it actually makes sense now that I'm saying it out loud. Is it worth trying to get ahead of this jeepney? Probably not. Okay, motorcycle beeping me, wants to get ahead of me. Go right ahead. We are at 45-50 kilometers per hour now. 3 bars on the gas. I don't know if we're gonna get gas at the gas station. I think we're gonna make it all the way to San Mateo with this gas. I just don't like to drain it all the way down. I heard from a mechanic before that, you know, if you drain it all the way down, you're gonna get more of the sediments. And the more that you get the sediments, the more your engine is going to get those sediments. You want to keep it topped up as much as you can so that the sediments don't pile up against each other. Okay. A little bit of congestion there at 50 kilometers per hour. Ooh, my helmet is, my forehead is getting itchy and I can't reach into my helmet. Both hands tied to the steering wheel. Stop looking down. I'm so conscious about the camera and what you're gonna get to see. Okay, so I mentioned about NOS, I mentioned about the channel direction, and yeah, again, it's not a promise to you necessarily. I mean, yeah, maybe it's an expectation that you might want to look towards, but I reserve the right to change my mind and to change direction anytime. And sure, you're more than welcome to unsubscribe or to walk away, because you're here because you want to follow the journey, I think, not because you are going to get guaranteed results all the time. No, maybe not. No, I want to give you guaranteed results, but it's not guaranteed same opinions all the time or same style of videos all the time. Of trying to figure out what communication style works best for me. And unfortunately for you, you are not sure what you're gonna get. That could be a good thing or that could be a bad thing. See that truck? They didn't signal. It's all by feel here in the Philippines. You have to have your sixth sense running. And good thing that taxi was also not in a hurry, I guess. Although I wasn't paying attention, or I was half paying attention. I was on autopilot while I was talking. So if I'm going to get myself into an accident, it's because I am on autopilot. I wasn't paying attention to the road. I'm looking at the road, but I'm talking to you. KF's birthday today. He's turning 8 years old, and it's going to be my birthday in a couple of days. Whenever it's my birthday and it's his birthday, you know, it reminds me a lot about my mortality lately. Especially after the Batasan accident that we had with the car, where we almost lost our lives, all three of us, and me having what I think was undiagnosed self-diagnosed COVID. Whether it was COVID or not, I felt like I was gonna die, so that's pretty close enough. And which brings me to thinking about mortality, which is you know, hourglass is running out. There's really no, this is game time already for me, so there's really no point in slowing down. It's like remember this movie that I watched a few times before, which I found so endearing. It's a comedy, I forget the name and even what the movie's about, but I just remember the scene where this guy was saying something like, you know, they were in a restaurant and the guy is not used to eating in a fancy restaurant, but you know, I guess he wanted to sort of impress the girl or what, but he was like, wow, you know, so the waiter poured the wine on the wine glass, and he was like, what are you saving for? Of course the waiter didn't fill up the whole glass, right? You know, they just fill it up like halfway so you could savor the aroma and the taste and that kind of thing. So he filled it up halfway, and you know, the main character of the movie was like, what are you saving it for? Fill it up, come on. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, what am I saving it for? You know, back in my 20s and 30s, growing up with the psychology of, you know, I'm not experienced enough, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough. Now it's like, whether I'm good or not good enough, you just got to get out there and do it. Now, whether you win or, I think we can go here. Uh-oh, we made the wrong turn. I don't know. Yeah, they're over. Made the wrong turn. I just didn't want to swerve to the left. Yeah, nagkamali ako, pero may daan pa rin dito. We can go over. Yeah, I made the wrong turn there. I wasn't supposed to turn into the right, but it so happens that there is still a way to get over to the other side and back to the main road where we wanted to be at. The only trouble is, yeah, and there's a motorcycle in front of me. There's a motorcycle in front of me, and a bicycle, and a car. She's asking you to go. There's a motorcycle in front of me. Yeah, just let me drive. Just let me drive. Don't pressure me to go. There's also a car on the other side. She also drives a car, so she knows how to drive and what to do on the road. But for me, you know, the way I see her driving the motorcycle before, although it was quite impressive because she was able to do it, for me it was a little too aggressive, and that's not my kind of thing. Let this truck pass, because I'm swerving to the left. I don't want to go in that lane. But yeah, sometimes she tends to be a backseat driver. Tells me what to do, which is no problem in terms of suggestions. But once she gets frustrated that I don't do what her suggestions entail, it doesn't turn out the right way. I'm just happy that it's not hot, number one, and that it's not as congested as it normally has been for the past few times that we've ridden on this road. So I'm just happy to be wheels turning. That's all. Even if we get lost, well, yeah, we'll lose some time, but we are at a better position than we were last time. Okay, so I got to talk a little bit about mortality and running out of time already, and there's really no, I think the process that I wanted to mention about that, I mean the reason why I wanted to process that thought was that there's really no one else to save me. You know, parents, the Savior, God, or whatever. I mean, it's those are the things that I want to hear, and what I want to think. But the exercise maybe really is believing in what I just said, because those are the things that I wish were true. Is that a Harley behind me making all that noise? Are you trying to get ahead of me? Because I'm not going to go any faster than I need to right now. And the road is bumpy. The road is bumpy. In the middle of the road, I am staying on the side. You are more than welcome to get ahead of me. I'm not trying to show you that I am a better, faster driver. So feel free to get ahead of me, baby. I don't know if it's worth talking about, but there's also Christine and I had a little argument a while ago about, well, it wasn't an argument, but I had to tell her off not to be looking at my phone too much, or to be putting too many interpretations to my texts, whether it's to my mom or to my friend. I mean, it's like, you know, being a backseat driver for the motorcycle. She's almost backseat driving me on how I should be communicating with my friends. This truck is going slow, but you know, it's going fast enough that the wheels are turning, but he could go a little faster, although it is a bumpy road. So anyhow, we had a little exchange a while ago about, you know, her checking my phone, and I had to tell her off just to stop trying to interpret stuff about who I'm messaging and what I'm telling them and how often I message them and that kind of thing. It's like, you know, I'm managing the situation as best I can and know how, and maybe it's also just the manner of the way she brings it up and tells me, hey, you should do this. It's like it's almost commanding me or telling me how to do it. There's the shell that we usually stop at, but I don't think we need to stop there right now. We can just keep going. No need to slow down. I want to get there already. I'm afraid of any more traffic congestion. Uh-oh, he is signaling to the right. Good on you, buddy. Thank you. Guy there crossing the street. And you know, I could have a stroke anytime. I could, I'm not exactly the healthiest, in the healthiest position, in the healthiest condition of my life. I could be doing so much more when it comes to my health. You okay? You didn't need to go to the toilet, did you?
What?
You didn't need to go to the toilet, did you?
Ayoko.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go. It's hard to say anything concretely, except just be guided with some principles, which I try to express a little bit of in this and the stuff that I put out. I'm not one to have strong opinions, although I do, maybe like a dog, you know, I do bite or fight back or say something when I do feel like I'm being put into a corner. You know, a dog would follow and maybe listen to your communication with a leash and maybe bend over backwards to work with you, but at the same time, you know, I don't want to be pushed into a corner where I can't breathe. Which brings me to just two more things that I wanted to talk about: the holidays and heroes. The holidays, maybe just real quickly, is that the most difficult time of the year for broken family kids, for sure. Well, for me, for sure, because I hate having to choose whether I should be with my mom or my dad, and now added to the mix is if I can or should be with my son. You know, like, who am I going to choose to be with during these days? And does choosing one mean less of another for another? You know, and you know, a lot of times, a lot of the years with my mom and my dad, you know, I just think, you know what, I can't decide who I'm going to be with, I'm just going to stay home. And I don't end up actually doing that, but that's the whole sentiment up until like the last day. And maybe now it's a little different with the pandemic and all. You got to make plans a little further ahead. But I don't think I'm going to be able to be with my mom now because of the maybe travel requirements that they have. I'm not sure if I'm willing to go through that, and I don't know if I'm ready. Oh, I don't have any financial resources. I can't afford to be staying in hotels, or you know, if we're going to take the bike, it's going to be at least maybe 2, maybe 3-day trip to get to her. I think, I'm assuming, because I don't want to be in a rush. Enjoy the trip. Anyway, that's another story. So what was I talking about? Cell phones. Oh, the holidays. I mentioned about the cell phones with the argument a while ago. So yeah, for me it's not really like private property, but it's really more about, you know, I'm handling the situation. We have our own communication dynamics. You know, just let me handle it. Just let me drive. Just let me do my thing. If you really don't like it, you could talk to me nicely about it, or you could walk away. Or I could also compromise, but at the same time, it's like, please don't force me to do something that I am not comfortable with. Or if I'm not comfortable with it, at least explain and speak to me about it. Don't treat me like a dog that will just follow blindly without an explanation. And you know, it's your obligation to explain, which also circles back, I guess, to what, like I said, what I was trying to do with my channel. It's really, I don't know if it's an obligation, but it's definitely something that I want to work on. This is a cop, traffic enforcer, slowing people down, or what is he trying to do? He doesn't look like he's trying to run after somebody. Go for it, man. I can see you signaling. Nobody trying to rush from behind me, so I am going slow enough, but no need to go any faster. Whoa, I didn't see that. My headlights are on. It's the day. Just want to make sure that the cars on the intersections see me approaching the intersection when they stick their nose out. And we have another green light. And I don't want to go on top of that metal cover there. And finally, there's like a whole bunch of get to know you questions that I looked into. Again, it circles back to the stuff that I want to put out on this channel. I guess I want to get to know myself. It's a multi-purpose project, so I wanted to get to know myself, and what way to get to know yourself than to ask yourself some questions and reflect on it. What is that? Police. Barangay San Juan Rescue. Uh-oh. Bicycles. Nice bike. That's a classy looking setup that she's got there. Weave through it like a snake there. Okay, we are approaching one of the major intersections now. This is the end of C5 for us. Truck is signaling to the right. I don't know if that means he's going to turn into a gate here somewhere, or if he's just turning right like everybody else. But I am also signaling to the right, letting him know that I am. Who is he waving to there? Maybe someone at the footbridge. Ooh, am I allowed to be here? Probably not. That's the bicycle lane. Maybe I'm allowed to tiptoe around it. Okay. Yeah, so getting to know yourself is part of, getting to know myself is part of this little project here. So sometimes that's why it's going to be, I'm thinking I'm mixed up between like making edit type videos, you know, really fancy, not fancy kind of editing, still basic, but you know, up to, you know, keep it within a reasonable amount, respectable amount of time to edit down the content within a reasonable and respectable amount of time, or you might get long form content like this where it's not edited, or at least hardly edited, so you can get the whole idea or essence of me, I guess, of what I want to put out there. And it's not me that I want to put out, me, but it's like at least something, someone. And I'm not sure where I read it, but you know, even every single leaf has a purpose in life. And so maybe, as for me, I might not be the Da Vinci or head honcho for whatever it is, but at least I could be an example of a bad example. You know what I mean? So holidays, talked about Nas. I'm trying to remember the direction of this channel mentioned. Oh, the hero question. Yeah, so one of the first questions in that list of questions that I wanted to reflect on and share, I guess, is some of the heroes that I have, or most, if not, yeah, all of the heroes that I have are like diving related, scuba diving related. You know, from and I like them because they are smart enough to follow instructions, I guess I would put it, but at the same time notice that some of the instructions or some of the ways things have been done is not always the best way, so they come up or do their own thing, and they do it ever so quietly and humbly, but at the same time confidently. You know, there's like a level of clarity, humility, and confidence that is just not, I guess the word is aggressive. It's not like in your face. It's like, here, if you want it, it's there for the taking, but if you don't want it, it's like, then it's not for you, because it's really not for everybody. And I'm talking about the founders of GUE and the UTD, these diving certification schools, agencies. They don't call them schools, they call them agencies. So that's why I like these heroes, or I mean, these are my heroes, because they are like a nice represent. Unfortunately, like, I can't say that you know, my dad is one of them, but I do. My dad is a hero in such a way where he's also quiet and non-aggressive, but I think, you know, he's also quiet and non-aggressive to a fault. But what was that pickup car doing? Is he trying to get ahead of me? He was trying to go straight like the motorcycles, but it's closed. Okay, jeepney is slowing down again. I'm signaling to the left. Motorcycles behind me. Go ahead, guys. Now is not a good time to be looking at my gas and speedometer. No, I was trying to look at my my notes if I forgot anything. Yeah, so those are the things that were on my mind early this morning. Celebrating KF's birthday today. and you know, it leads into my birthday in a couple of days, so it gets me reflective on how the years have been passing, and the years to look forward to. Can't control the past, can't even control the future, but we can do what we can today and control what we can control today that might and could lead into the future. At least I think the word is cultivate that future. Okay, normally we would go straight into Marikina. See that taxi didn't signal to the right. Anyway, usually we would go straight into Marikina, but for today, since I think we're good to go to keep going straight, we're not hungry, nobody needs to pee, we are going to turn left into JP Rizal, so we can go straight to SM San Mateo, which is where we want to go. Hey, this is a police guy with a gun, with a white Honda Click, which is the same model as this motorcycle that we're using right now. Oops. And I'm looking forward to driving on this road because I know that it's pretty smooth, although it does get quite congested. There is a motorcycle lane for it, on it, so we'll see how this one goes. But this is the route that we took today is pretty much the straightest line from point A to B. We didn't take the scenic route today for sure. We took the shortest, most direct route to get there. Go ahead, man. You look like you're in a hurry. A lot of motorcyclists look like they're in a hurry. I, on the other hand, hopefully with my passenger in tow, hopefully I look like I am just cruising right along. Maybe I should put ribbons in the back to show people, to let the other drivers know that I am just cruising. Or maybe have those antlers. You ever see those antlers coming out of some cars during the holidays? I don't know if you saw me wave to that guy. He put his foot down anyway already, so just wanted to thank him for letting me pass. Yeah, so that's about it. Think of this as a writing and maybe movie making exercise. I should be telling myself that's really what this is about. It's not about me making like really cool videos, which is the kind of thing that I don't like to see. I see a lot of videos that are overly produced, but like what am I getting out of it? I mean, like, what's the message? What's the spirit? And what is the person really saying? Or are they just trying to sell me something? So, you know, content creation has been people that put stuff out on the internet has all been like a big business and marketing scheme now. It's hard to tell which one is which. Like, everybody seems to have an agenda, a sales agenda. And yeah, I'd be a hypocrite if I said that that's totally not what I wanted to do. That's exactly what I want to do, but at the same time, I do not want to get trapped into that and obliged to wait. Where are we supposed to go? I think straight, right? I don't want to be obliged to come up with certain kind of content because that's the kind of thing that worked. Yeah, so like I said, unfortunately I don't have anything like specific expertise to share, although I will share what I know, but I will definitely not say that I'm an expert at it. What I do want to be an expert at is to at least communicate my thoughts or to share my perspective. That's really the best that I would hope for, is just to be able to get my point across and still have the right to change my mind at the end of the day. You know, that's also what gets me into a lot of trouble when it comes to arguments with people. Is you know, I just want to say my piece and move on with it. If you don't like what I said, it's fine, but at least let me say it. Let me say what I need to say. You know, let me just put my cards out on the table, and it's just frustrating. And a lot of the arguments really just stem from frustration of not being able to be heard and not being able to communicate properly, whether it's the other person's fault for misunderstanding and not letting me say my shit, or it's my fault that I'm frustrated with myself, that I'm not able to communicate my perspective clearly. How are we doing here? No red light, hopefully. Not beating any red light there. It just looked kind of odd that nobody was stopped at the stoplight, and I just needed like that I could keep going. Okay, oh, I ran over a rat. Can't see what time it is. 8 o'clock, 7:59 exactly on my watch. Kind of hoping we get there on or before 8, but you know, this is close enough. So I'm signaling to the right that I'm going to be sorry, got a little too aggressive there, and kind of woke up my passenger, who has been, in fairness to her, really been patient with me. We do get into disagreements and arguments, I guess you would put it, but you know what I appreciated about it is that it's not heavy. It's not like soul sucking. You know, and I hate it when she feels bad about it. I wish I could just explain it to her more easily. But again, you know, maybe it's her stubbornness and it's my impatience for not saying things clearly, which doesn't necessarily make it her fault, because she just has her own means and ways of doing things, which is not exactly the same way as mine. That doesn't mean we need to suck the life out of each other, I guess is one way to put it. I think this is a good place to end this, unless I come up with anything else to talk about. Mortality, we talked about my favorite heroes and why. Talked about the argument about with the cell phone a while ago, and a little bit of privacy and backseat driving, being the Sagittarius that I am. I mentioned about holidays and how it's the most difficult time for broken family kids and parents, I guess. I talked about Nas and respecting your subject or your business partner. In making your art. And I talked a lot about the growth of this channel, and again, forgive me if I keep talking about what I think and plan to do for the stuff that I want to put out, either here or on social media and all the other stuff. It's really just about, I guess, about in a lot of ways, really just communication. You just gotta forgive me for just trying to express myself or share stuff. And I am finding the right way, or the delicate way, to communicate it without being aggressive, which is the way that other people do it. And it's really just not my brand of it's really just not my brand of just really not my brand. Go ahead, biker. I know you want to squeeze in there. Oh no, there's a FX that stopped, and we can get ahead of him here. Chapter head. He's the chapter head of a motorcycle group, motorcycle gang. You see that? He signaled last minute though. You know, if you're a chapter head, that means you have a lot of experience riding a motorcycle. You should be a good example for the rest of your chapter members. So you have a lot of expectations. I remember riding with one of the chapter heads of one of the biker groups in Baguio that my cousin is with, and yeah, he was a pretty smooth operator. Reminds me of that time that I met up with these GUE diver guys, and you know, the successful ones really sort of slapped me in the face with how, I mean, you know, they don't do it saying it to my face, but they just do it by the way that they behave. And am I allowed to go? Oh, I forgot to beep the horn a while ago to sync the microphone and the camera. That's what I just did here now. Maybe I'll do it 3 times. Oh, is it drizzling? I see some water droplets on my visor, but I don't feel it in my arm or fingers. Oh no, now I feel it in my neck, so it is drizzling. So motorcycle here. Let's see can get ahead of him, signaling to the left there. And now I'm signaling back to the right because I am going to be turning right and I want to squeeze back in. I'm blocking that truck that wanted to turn. Good thing, hopefully he saw me. I guess he saw me, that's why he wasn't so aggressive about it. But yeah. And we are going to be dropping off Tin at the Skies Hotel, where she's going to be hanging out while I visit KF for his birthday. Happy birthday, buddy. You know I love you. I love hanging out with you. And I'm proud of the fact that you get to have fun with me too. And I'm tearing up just saying that. For once in my life, I feel like somebody's actually sort of proud of me. I don't really hear about that. He doesn't say that he's proud of me, but you know, when we're hanging out, he's like, all of a sudden, love you, Dad. That to me just means that he appreciates me. And he appreciates me. And he has fun. She's probably still upset at me. Obviously. I don't know about what, but anyway, I guess that's it for this recording.
Wait, and can you put some like effects like KF and Dad presents? Or
Okay.
I mean, Colin Blue Eagle Super Dad presents.
What is it called? Colin Blue Eagle?
Colin Blue Eagle, that's my Roblox name, and Super Dad, it presents. It's
Who's Super Dad?
you. So we're going to make a mask, right?
We'll try, so I hope it fits.
A little
Yeah.
too big.
That's right, that's why I'm tying it. I'm going, hold on to the mask. One-eyed mask. Wait, let's record your story. What is it going to be about? You want to cut it?
Yeah. It's going to be a movie about how Captain America is going to beat some German bandits and some henchmen, evil henchmen. In World War II, in the Cold War. I mean, the present day. In the present day.
What's the story?
It's about Captain America and his mission is to defeat the unstopping bandits who are going to take over this, or planning to take over the city with a giant norm, by taking over the atomic bomb to blow up the city and rule the world.
What's the name of the movie?
Captain America Saves the Day, Part 1.
Okay.
I mean, Captain America and the Atomic Bomb Day.
The Atomic Bomb Day?
Yeah, it was the day for the atomic bomb to launch.
Okay.
So after we make this movie, can you post it online or something? Can you stop recording first?
What did you say? After
After this, can you put it on Flipgrid or something on YouTube?
Okay.
Dun 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 dun.
I still have to edit it before I can post it up.
Okay.
Alright, welcome back. Just now. My passenger is asking me if I am speaking with anyone. And I am. I'm speaking with you. Talking to you. We were just talking about falling asleep on the way home, so she needed to put on her music and I needed to turn on the microphone. I think it helps keep me awake talking to myself. But unlike I was just thinking, unlike what do you call this, unlike a therapy session, I could end up rambling endlessly in circles. Meron dun. Okay. Alright. We're gonna look for a higher rated gas. And I'm pretty sure there's another one over there. We're not that low yet, but we might run out soon. Gosh, you know, one of these days I'm gonna run out of, I'm gonna make a misstep and lose my balance with this bike, I swear. Sometimes I make uncalculated risks, and you know, that kind of thing where if I was just 1 inch, half a second too late, too soon, I would have missed my footing or lost my balance and dropped the bike, kind of thing. It's happened more than I can count, and more than I would be comfortable with. Oh, I forgot to wear the gloves. No wonder my hands are cold. Right. I will wear it when we get to the other gas station. We are headed home now from my son's non-existent birthday bash. Not that we were preparing for anything big, but you know, I had the privilege of spending the whole day with him. He ended up wanting to watch videos. He was quite disappointed with the gift that I brought him, which is a t-shirt and a book. Is the gas station open? It almost looks like it's closed. Let's see if we have... Hey man. Sorry. Ikot na? Yeah. Thank you. Ay, sorry, masyado ba malapit? Okay lang. Yeah, full tank. 97. Abot ba tayo? Yeah. Oops, sorry, na-on ko yung ano. Mali. Yeah.
Full tank po, 97 octane.
Yeah. What? You still have? Ano rin ako dito? I also have.
Ano? Okay na ba? Dagdagan ko?
Hindi, Matt. Okay lang. Okay na yan. Yeah, 5 pesos. No, okay na. Can you find coins here siguro? Oh, para halos eksakto na sandali. Ayun. Like 2 kulang pa?
Dito sir,
Baka may piso pa. Yun. Thank you. What's that? Yeah, you can get nga a different shape. You can get a different shape for your. How do you? Now I was gonna ask you how you feel about this. Huh? Yeah. You move forward. Yeah. Hey man. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. How about you? Are you okay? I'm talking to myself here. Kanya-kanyang mundo. You okay?
Yeah.
I forgot to wear the gloves.
Nasa Bacolod na pala tayo.
Ba?
May street dito eh.
Kolod. Ha?
Ha?
Bacolod?
Yeah, girl. Bacolod. What happened to you? Bacolod.
You know, my hands are cold.
Yung isa mong ano, yung isang vlog, nasa Facebook.
Ha?
Yung isa mong vlog, minsan hiram dito na.
Oh, okay.
Nakikita na yung dito ko. Hindi na pantay.
bit of a bump there. I don't like that right lane because it is quite bumpy from the, I think it's a water drainage system or something to that effect. People crossing, I could barely see them. Is it my helmet? Everybody's lights are turned on. I still didn't see them. Barely. Hardly. See this, they're keeping turning. Okay, let's try to have a smooth ride home to the south this evening. Welcome back to my private and unguided therapy session where I get to talk to myself and try to therapy myself. That's the problem without any therapy training or psychology training. I'm basing everything off of what I've read or seen on YouTube. Self-taught therapy session. No, I'm kidding. It's funny. That's the thing about, you know, it helps to talk it out, say it out loud, let yourself hear yourself talk about it. But you know, as a listener, if you'd be an audience to the show probably, or a third person listening, it's not like having a therapy session where someone that's detached from the situation and looking at it and is getting to look at it objectively is not present enough to guide the conversation or the direction of thought, which is what I think a therapist does well. So I don't know if I should be airing these things. It's a lot of dead air. I don't know if it's low quality, if you would call it low quality. Sort of a low quality production where we are just practicing technical skills of recording and maybe speaking, and maybe practicing how to get ahead of me, because I don't like your headlights. His headlights were on bright, shining on my mirror, and I could barely see what's in front of me. So let him go ahead. So yeah, so that's what I'm afraid of about talking to myself. You know, it could be, it's helpful to an extent, but without any professional help, of course, you can end up maybe, I guess, going crazy. You know, without any that guided process. I guess it's what they say about psych. Huh? What do you mean? Yeah. Not sure what you're saying, but going back to my therapy session thing, is like, yeah, maybe that's the danger. I was trying to compare it to like psychedelics maybe, or drugs. That,
Di ba natutubig mo?
what's that?
Area na to? Sa baha?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This bridge gets flooded. I think this bridge got flooded before. Oh,
Eh, remember kasi to? Sa baha?
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Right. So yeah, that's the thing about speaking to yourself. It could be dangerous in such a way that, you know, you could lead yourself, or I could lead myself to crazy little thoughts, maybe. But on the flip side, I think that's what happens when you don't speak to yourself and say things out loud also, or at least externalize what's going on in your head. If you keep it all in and not, you know, hear how stupid you sound and how your logic doesn't make sense, you could also spiral into thinking crazy thoughts, I think. So a little bit of moderation for everything then. And here's the thing with driving with other fast vehicles or on the road. It's so tempting to catch up or be in pace with them, not because I'm trying to race them or because I'm trying to put myself at their level, but just at like a safety perspective where you wanna go with the flow, but you also gotta keep your head on a swivel and be aware that you're not doing the bad things that the other people are doing, which has happened to me. It's bitten me in the ass already before, where I entered a wrong lane for like a bus lane, and you know, I followed these buses, and it turns out that they entered a bus lane that I'm not supposed to be entering. So we are at 40 right now here in E. Rodriguez, in front of Libis. Just cruising along. I didn't come up with a playlist or anything, or a list of topics to talk about this time. I was kind of half-heartedly thinking of just being quiet throughout the whole trip and just record audio just in case, for whatever reason, just as a backup, but not necessarily to force myself to say anything to talk about. But well, it's KF's birthday. Just got back. Maybe it's something to reflect on. Not really much though. We just I gave him his gift. We hung out, watched TV the whole day. It wasn't TV, it was YouTube actually, and some Netflix. the last bit of it was this movie. I think it's called A Boy Named Christmas, and turns out I think he was looking for his father. His father never returned. Or that's the little that I gathered from. That's the little that I gathered from KF's fast forwarding. That's a good kid. The only thing that I'm worried about with him, aside from him biting his nails, is every time he's watching videos, he's always just skipping to the good parts, and he doesn't. He feels uncomfortable. You know, he's still at that tender, sort of innocent age where he doesn't want to look at the bad stuff. So he uses the remote controller to keep fast forwarding things. And I don't know if and how that's going to affect him mentally in real life. IRL. Wow, I don't like this lane. We are seeing a wall of trucks here. And this is the best lane to be at for me, even if I were in a car. What's that? What? What did you say? Oh yeah. Yeah. It's the best lane because this innermost lane is going to go up on top. Yeah. It's going to go up on all the. It's going to go up on all the flyovers. What? Huh? So no need for us to be watching out for. No need for us to be watching out for missing out on the flyover, which is the danger of being on the right, slower most lane. Yeah, that's just one. In here is counting the number of flyovers. Yeah. I'm slow. Yeah, truck lane on the right side. Yeah, so we're slowly enjoying the ride home, trying to figure out the best time to leave and where to pass the most, which route is the best. Just take, just progress, make incremental progressions every trip is the plan and the way to go. Getting to know the road, getting to know the bike, getting to know the whole situation and how best to manage what's going on. And yeah, it goes back to KF. Just all of a sudden, choosing to change channels or choosing to change fast forward shows all the time gets me a bit worried, in a sense that he'll be very impatient to progress incrementally and slowly. I don't know how it's going to affect him, but we'll take it as it comes.
Kaya pala kanina may nanguhuli doon kasi may nag-U-turn and left turn. Kaya pala natin may police dyan.
So I'm not so much worried about, how should I say that? I'm not so worried about me.
Okay sa'yo yung oras? Punta?
I'm not so worried about me crashing into other vehicles because I drive pretty slow. But I'm worried about other cars hitting me. Either they don't see me, or they are, or even other motorcyclists. Worried about them going too fast and not seeing me, or on the flip side, if they do anything crazy and miscalculate, their maneuver and end up hitting me. So I'm always watching out for, not putting myself in a situation where either of those could happen. We are bouncing up and down a lot. I am going to signal to the right. Swerving to the right now. The rightmost lane, where we are going a little slower. I think that's just the trucks.
Ha?
I think that's just the trucks kasi no coding sila. No coding yung mga trucks. I think that traffic is just because of the trucks. Kasi no coding yung trucks today. Yeah.
Usually may oras sila din sa gabi.
Yeah, now 10. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey. Antok ka na? Pagod ka? Makati. Hmm? What? What's that? Yeah. Asfalto?
Yeah. Dito na ako sa likod. Na.
Yeah, sure. Daanan ng truck.
Dapat dito is parking. Diba? Okay lang ako ha. Kahit hindi na, okay lang. May isa pa ba tayong dadaanan na ganito?
Ano?
Wala na? Last na to?
Yeah. Hmm.
Sa kabila ata. Shakey's daw eh.
Ten na eh, no? Ha? Ano yun?
Ang taas. Hindi niya pwedeng yakapin yung ano eh. Yung rider. Dito nga.
Ang lubak ng daan mo. Sorry ah.
Swerte ng rider. Iba-iba sakay.
Ano na?
Iba-iba sakay. Ang mas right tawag. Maraming mga daan. Ayaw gawin, no?
Bakit? Kasabit yung puwet natin eh.
Huwag kami nang maligo. Pahinga ka muna, ha? Mahal. Tatawid siya, marunong. Ay, bilisan mo!
Hmm. There.
Ito yun?
Before, yung parang may garahe siguro papasok.
Pero bakit close na, di ba? Mas publish pala tong subdivision